So broadly speaking, there's three main strategies you can use for your early applications. That's applying REA or single choice early action to your top choice college, and then applying EA or rolling at public colleges. Option number 2 is applying ED to your top choice college and then EA to other public and private colleges. And then option number 3 is to apply EA to your top choice college and then EA to other public and private colleges. So obviously REA or SEA has the most limiting, places the most limits on your ability to apply to other colleges. But broadly speaking, these are the three types of strategies you can use, and it's really governed by what admissions policy is available for early applications at your top choice school. Now, obviously, everyone's situation is different, and there are limitations to this. But broadly speaking, if your top choice college offers early decision, then you should apply ED, almost always. If you have like a runaway first choice school, hey, this is my dream school, this is a school that I love the most, you should almost always take advantage of that option, right? Because early decision offers such a large benefit, it usually makes sense to apply ED. But again, as we've talked about a little bit through Q&A, be sure that you're willing to commit you're accepted, and you might want to proceed with caution if you have those financial concerns that we talked about. The next sort of thing to keep in mind is that you want to be aware of your chances of admission. And if you're watching today's live stream and you haven't already filled out your profile and checked out your chances through CollegeVine, be sure to do that through your CollegeVine account. But because applying early is a multiplier, the benefit of applying early is higher when your chances of admission are higher, right? So, here's just a sort of quick math way of thinking about that. As we talked about earlier, right, applying early decision on average is going to be about a 1.6x, or increase your chances by 60%, right? So if your chances before choosing to apply early were 4%, that would bump your chances up to 6.4%, which is, a pretty big increase, right? It's you get 2.4 extra percentage points. But if your chances of admission are 30% in a vacuum, and then you apply ED, that's going to bump your chances to 48%. So you get an 18 percentage point boost in your chance of admission. So if you're in a situation not where you have just this one runaway top choice, but you've got 2 to 3 top choices, I would pick the one where you have the highest chance of admission, right? So keep your chances in mind as you're thinking about your early application strategy. And this is still true for early action as well, right? Just because, again, even though the multiplier is lower, you still do get that multiplier effect. Now, a question we've got a lot in the chat is about financial aid and scholarships and how applying early impacts those. And so, as a general rule, if you apply early decision or restrictive early action, you're going to get less money from colleges. And the reason is that applying ED, you're kind of locked in, right? You have that binding application. So you're less likely to receive scholarship money, and you're less likely to receive financial aid from schools that don't meet 100% of demonstrated need. If you apply early action, on the other hand, you will likely get more money from colleges, especially merit scholarships. And the reason for this is that applying early action, there's nothing binding you to that school. You just submitted your application a little bit earlier and got your decision earlier. So from a college's perspective, if you're applying EA, they actually want to give you more scholarship money so that you're even more likely to choose them for your admission, since there's something that's holding you to that college beyond the fact that you just heard from them first. The other thing to keep in mind as you think about your early action strategy or your early application strategy is that submitting multiple early applications has a cost, right? The reason is that each additional application reduces the amount of time you can put into each of your applications when it comes to producing quality application materials, particularly the essay, as well as just filling out applications if you're applying to something like the UC schools that don't use the Common App, right? Or MIT, for example, another school that doesn't use the Common App, right? So from the perspective of the quality of each of your applications, the more colleges you apply to early, the more pressure you're putting on yourself. Now, it is obviously possible to put in enough time to create quality essays and application materials for multiple EA schools, but you have to be sure you can fit that in alongside your extracurricular activities, your grades, your coursework, and just living your life, right? So just keep in mind that multiple early applications have their own costs.